All right, we've got head coach John Wroblewski, so please use the raise hand function and we'll begin. Let's start off with Jesse Cohen.
Hey, John, outshot 11-2 in the first period, then in the second and third, preponderance of shots for your team. Was there an adjustment you made in the first intermission?
I give a lot of credit to the players, to be honest, Jesse. I think that, we made them aware of a couple things that maybe we weren't doing, like some puck battles that they had to intensify a little, and just a couple areas. But, I think San Diego brought a different lineup, and with that, there was a little bit of different speed, a little bit of different heavy to the game in the first period, and also their D, like Benoit, for instance, he inserts and he runs a little bit more north, and that was something that our guys hadn't been used to. So that kind of translated Curran as well that way. Two defensemen that kind of a little bit more active on the north-south game. So I thought our guys obviously did a tremendous job in their response.
Is it helpful when you have a veteran like Martin Ferk get on the scoreboard early after being inserted into the lineup?
Yeah, that's Ferky takes a lot of pride in his goal scoring as he should, and a consummate professional. I love having him around. I love working with him. I hope he can get back to the National League here. But I really, along with his goal scoring, it's great for him. But he puts in so much effort for us and himself. I can't say it again enough. What a consummate professional he is, and inspiring player to coach.
And then I got to do it. But any updates on the players not in the lineup tonight?
Unfortunately, I don't have anything concrete. I can tell you that Turcotte is going to be he's more or less day to day, but we're going to obviously going to be precautionary with the number of bodies we have, and make sure that we don't inject him into the lineup before he's ready. So. And then I'm trying to gather any other specifics that you had there, Jesse.
No, that was it.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Yep, no problem.
Next up is Patrick Williams.
Yeah, Coach, with a player like Marty, he's 27 years old. He's only got 2 games up this year with LA. What can he do to get himself back there or somewhere else in the NHL? What will get him over the hump?
That's a great question, Patrick. I unfortunately I'm probably not the expert on the subject. Marty would actually probably be a better guy to ask that question, because even though I've been in the American League before. I think it's my best understanding is just to be able to utilize that God-given talent that he has, that shot. And how do you do that? It's to be a momentum first type of player, to understand the ebbs and flows of the game. Get yourself back into that as best as possible. But Marty knows his game pretty well, as you alluded to, as a 27-year-old. And he's been through the ringer. Nothing but the best thing to say about him as a person, though, and a player. I've got a lot of time for him.
And then just obviously San Diego's changed a lot this year, but
Yep.
What's your impressions of that team and what they bring for your guys and what your players can get out of playing them on such a regular basis?
That's a great question. I'm not going to tip my cap to what I think about that team too much, though, because that's a competitive, type of question that I really don't want to divulge too much on that way. But I'll say this: I really respect the way that their guys play in the line rush. They have very skilled players, and they always challenge us that way. So our gap control, and obviously every puck matters, as like that first goal. I mean, it really develops out of nothing, right? And we've got a player marked up with, I believe DeLeo made the pass there at the blue line. And then it looks like something that could be broken up the majority of the time, 9 out of 10 times. And they find ways to make those types of plays. And so it's a tremendous defensive challenge. And their D they're big and mobile, and they run north. So it's an NHL style D core as well. So I hope that kind of gives you their mobility, whether it's in the neutral zone or even rushing the puck or joining the play. It really does give these guys, I think, a good taste of NHL responsibilities and things like that.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
You bet.
Next up is John Hoven.
John, you're muted.
Can you hear me this time, John?
Got you, buddy.
All right, thank you. Question about what was said during the first intermission there. It almost looked like the tale of two games between what you saw in the first 20 and maybe what you saw over the last 40.
Yeah, what was said? So we talked about Zegras carving through us in our 1-3-1. It's no mystery that that's our system when we're in controlled situations. San Diego sees it all the time, and one that can't cost us. Yeah, and so whether it's momentum or scoring chances or certainly penalties, we can't allow teams to carve through us on our 1-3-1. That's a set situation that we need to control. Always control the controllables. So there was a little teaching on that. We talked about how to manufacture in the offensive zone. I'm not going to go into detail on how that was because we only allowed 2 shots, but I'm not going to talk about our strategy that way. And then ultimately we were. Let me just watch my language real quick. We weren't very good on the puck that period. I kind of spoke of it that we didn't break up the play on DeLeo, but that was a microcosm of the period. We had, I love going after Koopy because I think so highly of him, and I think that he could be a dominant player, like you saw late in the third period, the way that he had that shoulder check, and then fed. I think he got it out to Johnson for a clean shot, grade A plus chance right there in the hash marks. If my memory jogs correctly, but that's the type of impact that I think Kupari should have on a really maybe not shift to shift basis, but he should be showing that type of play on a little bit more consistently. And he had a play across the ice on the hash marks, top of the circles, where he got a stick lifted 10 seconds into a shift. And then we have to play 30 more seconds of D zone. And finally advances into the neutral zone. And he does win the battle ultimately, but we lost 3 or 4 stick battles, puck battles. And we've got guys that I don't believe should lose. Our team in general should not lose the majority of stick or puck battles in a period. It just shows that we weren't up to speed. And credit to San Diego, they came out buzzing. But I think that was the three emphasis points after one.
And the 6 power plays. I mean, is that just a situation where you'd rather be practicing the power play, if you will, in a game situation that gives you more teaching opportunities going forward? Because it has been a struggle this year on the power play.
Yeah, and that's another, kind of a thorn in our side for sure, and one that no one's going to like the answers on. It needs to be better. I believe we have the right people around us to help it along. And it's also a situation where you get down a slump and you start to squeeze. Everybody knows that the power play is not converting, so your confidence isn't there. And it's going to take it also. We don't, I don't want to make excuses, but realities of the continuity makes it somewhat difficult with we're not having consistent players or guys performing consistently in spots. So it's not all just the fluctuation of players. We're suffering to find the right chemistry, the right quarterback, for instance, or whether it's a half wall or the key puck touchers. We haven't found the right chemistry and the right personnel, and that's something that we've just got to keep chipping away at. And I believe in the process with it.
Last one, then, would just be about the goaltending. Interesting that you went back to Berube tonight. Is there anything you can say just about what's going on with Matty Villalta right now?
Yeah, you know what? We actually went into practice after the game. After Matt Rubes didn't play well against San Diego. He'd be the first guy to tell you. Just looked a little out of sorts. He did make some saves, but probably wanted 3 of those back, or could have made better bids on a couple of them. So went into practice openly yesterday and felt like it was a scenario where I'm a believer in practice. I think that you don't just practice routes. You need to be efficient. You need to perform. That's where that can be a confidence gainer. Like I think Gretzky, they timed him when he played, and he would have the puck on his stick for a minute per game. That's the best player, ever to have the puck on his stick. And he only had it for a minute. So what's the average player have it for? We need to make sure that every one of those counts. And that's where practice is pivotal to me. I believe in the repetition. I believe that builds confidence. And the same thing with the goaltending, where the goalie's got to perform in practice. And Matty, he just didn't yesterday. And he doesn't have the luxury of banking on past performance in games to say that, all right, that I've earned this net, or it's just my turn up. And it's something. He's a great kid. He's a learner, and we believe in him.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, thank you, everybody. That's it for tonight.
Thank you, guys.